Imagine controlling a massive chunk of land, so huge that it could be its own country. Sounds like a plot straight out of a movie, right? But what if I told you that right here, 9.4 lakh acres of land are controlled by just 200 individuals? Yep, you heard that right. Now, how did this happen? That's what we're about to uncover today. Stick with us as we unravel the story of Waqf land, how it works, and why it's become such a big deal. What exactly is Waqf? First things first, what is Waqf? Well, according to Islamic law, Waqf refers to land or property that's donated for religious or charitable purposes. Simple enough, right? But here's where things get interesting. In India, when someone donates land to the Waqf, it means the land is no longer theirs. It's now considered to be in the ownership of Allah. Now, since Allah can't physically manage the land, obviously, the Waqf Board steps in as the caretaker. And well, that's where the plot thickens. The Waqf Board in India is supposed to use this land for public or charitable purposes, like mosques, schools, hospitals, etc. But here's the catch. Over time, the board has been grabbing a lot more land than just that. How did Waqf lands take over? Let's take a quick history trip. The roots of Waqf land go all the way back to the Delhi Sultanate in India. Back then, the Waqf system was mostly about religious donations. But as the Islamic rulers grew, so did the amount of land donated to the Waqf in India. Fast forward to the British era. Despite their divide and rule policies, they didn't touch the Waqf system too much in India. But in the late 19th century, the British Privy Council did label Waqf as the most harmful kind of perpetuity, and still, they let it roll on in India. Why? Because it suited their agenda. They didn't want to touch it, they just left it alone. Now, after India's independence, the Waqf Board only got stronger. In 1954, the Waqf Act was passed, centralizing all these properties in India. By 1964, the Central Waqf Council was set up to oversee the Waqf boards in each state across India. But the real drama began after the Babri Masjid incident in the 90s. That's when the Waqf system in India gained even more power. By 1995, the government expanded the Waqf's rights, and from there, the land grab only snowballed. What's the real size of the Waqf land grab? Here's the mind-blowing part. In 2009, the Waqf Board controlled just about 4 lakh acres. Fast forward to today, and that number has more than doubled. 9.4 lakh acres. To put that in perspective, that's more land than some countries. And get this, these lands are scattered all over India. You might be wondering, how does this happen in India? Well, here's the trick. Whenever the Waqf Board in India needs land for a religious purpose, they start claiming property. For example, if they set up a cemetery, they claim the surrounding land as part of the Waqf property. It's like once they put a sign that says Waqf, boom, that land is now theirs. This isn't just happening in small villages. Some major properties are also caught up in these land grabs in India, like high-end golf clubs, fancy hotels, and even large parts of cities like Kolkata, Bengaluru, and Chennai. And what's worse, this system has zero transparency in India. In fact, about 8% of Waqf properties in India are under dispute right now. Disputed properties, meaning they're in legal battles. Thousands of acres are sitting there, waiting for a court ruling, and the average person in India doesn't even stand a chance in fighting this system. The Waqf Board is just too powerful. Why can't people in India fight back? Now you might think, why don't the people of India just take the Waqf Board to court? Simple. The Waqf Act of 1995 in India says that if the Waqf Board claims a property, you can't take them to a civil court. Nope, You can only go to the Waqf tribunal in India. So, in a way, the people who are making the claims are also the ones who decide if those claims are valid. Talk about a conflict of interest. And it gets crazier. The board's actions are protected by the law, meaning they don't need any evidence to claim your property in India. If they say it's theirs, and you're left fighting a legal battle in a system that's stacked against you in India. Why is this happening? Now, some people argue that this is all fine because the land is meant for charitable or religious purposes in India. But is it really? There are so many reports of land misuse, corruption, and lack of transparency in India. In fact, the government has recently proposed new amendments to the Waqf Act to fix these issues. The big question here is, how did we let this land grab in India go on for so long? Why is a religious body allowed to control such vast amounts of land in India without any oversight? What does it say about how laws are being used to take advantage of the system in India? The government wants to change this, but will these changes actually work in India? We'll see. So, what's the bottom line? Waqf land in India is a huge issue, one that's been growing for decades. What started as a religious donation system in India has turned into a massive land empire with little accountability. The government's push for reforms in India is a step in the right direction, but the real question is, can they stop the Waqf Board's unchecked growth? What do you think? Drop your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into untold stories of the globe.